L.A. Lohmeier, representing exactly one half of the band The Wurst, whose music you can hear on this very same YouTube channel. In addition to being a shitty guitarist and a shitty vocalist, I'm also a former journalist and therefore a better writer and columnist than I am guitarist or vocalist, but I'd have to be a better writer than I am a guitarist, otherwise I'd basically be illiterate. Anyway, today's election day in Ohio, and I thought today was as good a time as any to launch what should be a series of these little commentaries on the Wurst YouTube channel about things that piss me off enough to write a terrible song about it. Instead of writing a shitty song about it, though, I'm just going to tell you why these things piss me off. And what's irritating me today is that it's election day, which is always irritating, even though I'm not going to the polls. I don't have any kids in school, so I don't really want to vote for the school board races, and the ballot initiatives are what's really pissing me off today. Specifically Proposal 3. Some of you may have heard of this one as Ohio's marijuana legalization ballot initiative, but it's really just corporatist greed masquerading as marijuana reform. Basically, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, 10 wealthy investors got together to put the issue on the ballot. And should the initiative pass, these same 10 guys will have a legal monopoly on commercial marijuana production written right into Ohio's Constitution. That's the shitty part. These guys have enough money to set up commercial grow operations. Obviously, that's their plan. And theoretically, they should have enough resources to fend off or compete against any other competition that would come along. They don't want competition. They're eliminating it at the constitutional level by writing their monopoly right into the Constitution. Greed. That's it. In fact, the greed component of the proposal is it goes even beyond the commercial monopoly. Supporters of the initiative, Responsible Ohio, as they like to call themselves, like to point out that people would be allowed to grow marijuana at home, small number of plants. Great. Thing is, first, to do so legally, you'd have to get a permit. Before you can get that permit, the governor has to set up a commission to issue them. Ohio's Republican governor, John Kasich, is running, not well, but running for president. He's not going to be in any hurry to get a bunch of home grow permits into people's hands. He just ain't. And I can't imagine home growers are going to want one anyway. Because among the stipulations in the new law is you'd have to subject yourself to inspections. I'm guessing if you've been growing weed illegally this long, you're not going to want to pay money to get a piece of paper put on file with the government that says you grow weed. Why the hell would you? Long story short, this bill isn't about liberty. It's not about individual rights. And if you're going to have a discussion about drug reform, marijuana, or whatever else, that's where the discussion needs to be rooted, is in individual liberty. I suppose Responsible Ohio, which is the group behind Issue 3 or Proposal 3, does deserve some kudos for figuring out how to achieve their corporatist crony capitalism gains while eliminating the corporatist crony politician middleman from the mix. They're kind of doing it through the ballot box as opposed to the bribe. Clever, but still shitty. A bill legalizing marijuana doesn't need to contain a set number of grow sites, a system for issuing permits, or anything else. It just needs to legalize weed. Get it off the books. Have the cops stop arresting people for it. Have courts stop putting people into diversion programs for it that us taxpayers pay for. It's just nonsense. Just end it. We don't have the luxury of spending $30,000 a year to put people in prison for not hurting anyone else. Just can't afford to do it anymore. Could never really afford to, but nowadays we really can't. And that's why this bill and any other like it, and even Colorado and Washington State, don't go far enough, because really all illegal drugs need to be decriminalized for a variety of reasons. And one of those reasons, which I've alluded to earlier, for those of you paying attention, is more important than the rest. But that's really a subject for a different time, like, say, next time. But until then, thanks for paying attention. I'm going for a smoke.